All right, Chris with Coldbreak here with another customer question. He asks, hello, I'm building a mobile bar and a tuk-tuk, and I am looking for a product like yours. I need a system that can carry a few pre-batched cocktails, which would be 3 to 4, and that could be used in multiple setups, not only in the tuk-tuk. Can I use it for beer with the same system that would be making cocktails? Please let me know what products can work for my business that is more about cocktails rather than beer, or if you can build something with my specifications. Thank you for your help. So we can. So for those of you that don't know what a tuk-tuk is, it's kind of like a motorized rickshaw, or like I think when they come over here, there's like that would be like the Asian version would be a tuk-tuk. The French version would be more of like a piaggio, I think is what they call them. There's this is kind of what he's referring to. He's building like a small mobile bar out of like a little motorized cart. Behind that wall, so you've got a few taps, and then behind that wall sits the kegs and some sort of way to chill the beer or cocktail. Now, most of those don't have refrigeration units in them, so you need an external source to chill them, and that's usually that's going to be something like ice. Okay, so he's using one of our jumper box, or he would use something like a jumper box like this, right? So where the girl is standing next to the taps, that would be like the front of the cart, and then you've got some sort of wall, and then you've got behind it, you've got a jumper box, which is a jockey box. It doesn't have the faucets mounted to it, then it's chilling the beer or cocktail as it's flowing through the jumper or jockey box. I'm going to use the term jockey and jumper interchangeably here. Just know that the jockey box is with the faucets mounted to the cooler. The jumper box is like this, where it's mounted externally. You can use the same setup whether you're pouring beer or cocktails or lemonade or soda water or whatever you're doing. You can use the same setup, right? The only caveat to that's going to be whether it's carbonated or not. Most carbonated beverages need to be dispensed with CO2. Non-carbonated beverages, it's best to serve with nitrogen. Nitrogen has a really hard time of dissolving into cold liquids, and so there's less of a chance for it to start carbonating, right? So the setup doesn't really have to be customized unless you're trying to choose between gas, like the nitrogen and CO2. Let's go back to his question here. He did reference if he could use it in multiple setups. So since the jockey box and jumper box are relatively the same thing, one of the things that you can do is for a jockey box like this, you can turn a jockey box into a jumper box that you can use in the back of something like that with there are some connectors that replace the faucets on a jockey box. And let me see if I can bring up our website here. Let's get rid of that. Bring up the website. And what we're going to do, sorry, I didn't have this prepared. I think it's under tubing. No, I think it's going to be under tailpieces. Let me see here, tailpieces. Faucet shank adapter. So this faucet shank adapter, what that's going to do is this part, the threaded part here is actually the same threads as a beer faucet. And so it turns a beer faucet into a barb, which you can add tubing to, and you can use it as a jumper box, right? So you can turn a jockey box into a jumper box with a faucet shank adapter, but you cannot turn a jumper box into a jockey box. So a jumper box has a very specific use, which is mounting it to the back wall, and that's pretty much all it can be. If you want a jockey box here, you have to use the faucet shank adapters and take the faucets off and connect it that way. So if he's going to use both, if he wants to be able to use it on the back of the wall like this, buy a Jockey box and then add the adapters. And then when he wants to use it like this, it's a jumper box. And then when he wants to use it not in the truck, he can still use it as a Jockey box. So that was very long-winded in a way to say that you can do both with a Jockey box. You cannot do it both with a jumper box. So any more questions, fire them off. Support@coldbreakusa.com.